walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic. So it's time to admit that we have to go to war against COVID. Require vaccination universally. Have the military run it. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you better be ready to prove your conscientious objector status in court. Earlier this month, the company announced that the government's returning a big stock of Paxlovid. That's their COVID drug, and management had to slash its full-year forecast in response. Their COVID vaccine also isn't selling as well as expected. I mean, there's something that occurred that is fortuitous, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but you picked a spokesperson, Travis Kelce.
Two things at once.
That's not two things at once.
Mom!
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Perhaps because of his association with Taylor Swift, maybe the most famous athlete in the world right now. And he also has an antagonist, a fellow by the name of Aaron Rodgers, who called him Mr. Pfizer.
Mr. Pfizer, we kind of shut him down a little bit. He didn't have, his crazy impact game. Obviously, he had, some yards and stuff, but I felt like for the most part, we played really tough on defense, especially the last three quarters, and that was important for us.
In order to mock him. But the fact is, sir, isn't that the kind of awareness that you need in order to be able to build prescriptions, build vaccines, and then get people to realize the power of your portfolio?
I think he is, and he's a wonderful spokesperson for us, and we are very proud that we are associating our name with him.
But is it working? I mean, I know that when I go, I feel like right now I went and I got my flu and I got my Pfizer COVID, and I felt rather pioneerish. I felt that I'm alone. Now, I know others are doing it, but I'm struggling with the idea, why doesn't everybody do this? And what is the resistance?
We thought in the beginning of the year, we thought that we will have 24% of the Americans, and that was our projection, will doing a COVID vaccine this year. So far, it looks like it's trending more towards 17%. And so far, maybe 7-8% have done it. But the months ahead of us are very strong. So there are many reasons why it's lower. And we are far away from the COVID fear. So everybody will do the vaccine. Now we are in the middle of the COVID fatigue. Nobody wants to speak about COVID. And we have also a lot of anti-vaxxers rhetoric at the peak. But the good news is that those that they are doing a vaccine right now are those that they truly believe in the value of vaccination. So that's a very base assumption for what the vaccination rates could be as a floor going forward.
But there is some sort of vaccine fatigue in this country right now that I think is affecting your earnings.
You're right, but it's mainly in the COVID area because our RSV has done tremendously better than what we thought. Our pneumococcal vaccine is doing tremendously better than what we thought, and the analysts thought. And of course, the flu vaccinations are trending quite well. We don't have a flu, but we know how they are trending. So there is a little bit of COVID fatigue, which reflects on the number of COVID vaccinations that we had. Also, don't forget, Jim, the COVID vaccines came a little bit late in the season, right? In the middle of September, approximately. We had all August quite a wave of COVID. So a lot of people got COVID, and they can't do a vaccine before 4 months after they had COVID.
Okay.
All 9 million federal and contract workers must be vaccinated or face losing their jobs. Private sector companies with over 100 employees must require vaccinations or weekly testing. That accounts for 80 million workers.
The only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No. Screw your freedom.
The goal, really, and I wish President Biden had done more of this during his speech. I wish that he had gone into all the things that should be done to restrict the activities of the unvaccinated.
And what we really need to do at this point is to make vaccination the easy choice. It needs to be hard for people to remain unvaccinated.
I'll condemn them. I'll shame them. I'll blame them. We can penalize them more. We can say, you're going to pay more on your hospital bill if you weren't vaccinated. You can't get life insurance or disability insurance at affordable rates if you aren't vaccinated. Those companies should not treat us as equals in terms of what the financial burdens are that disease imposes. So I can think of a number of ways in which we should say, here's the stick, get on board.
Don't want to get vaccinated. That's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
There's no excuse. No excuse for anyone being unvaccinated.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination. Vaccination. I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment.
Philadelphia is getting ready to enact a new vaccine requirement for eating inside. The new rule starts in 3 weeks, and it applies to more than just restaurants. Sports fans planning to head to the Wells Fargo Center will need to show proof as well.
Joints for Jabs, that's what they're calling it. It's an event in Long Beach where organizers are going to give you a free marijuana joint if you're eligible and get a COVID vaccine.
Also today, the governor says all West Virginians ages 16 to 35 who've already gotten the shots or will get them will also get a $100 savings bond as an incentive. That could cost the state $27 million.
Of course, hunting and fishing is big business. It's a big hobby here in the state, and so officials are taking advantage of that. They're giving away lifetime memberships, lifetime licenses to the fishing and hunting clubs. They're also doing things like giving away a Ford F-150 trucks, as you mentioned, every week for 5 weeks starting at the end of June. And they're also doing something that's a little more controversial. They're giving away 5 shotguns and 5 hunting rifles as well, just for the fully vaccinated or even partially vaccinated.
Today could be your lucky day if you've gotten at least one COVID vaccination shot. California's first vaccine lottery drawing takes place tonight.
Krispy Kreme is offering a free glazed donut if you show them your COVID vaccination card.
Shout out to our favorite MD, Anthony Fauci.
Walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic. So it's time to admit that we have to go to war against COVID. Require vaccination universally. Have the military run it. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you better be ready to prove your conscientious objector status in court.
Think about this. In a world of threats and tyrants and terror, you know what our biggest enemy is in America? Our fellow Americans.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
If you're willing to walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy.
The people who are not getting vaccines, who are believing the lies on the internet instead of science, it's time to start shaming them. What else? Or leave them behind.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Yeah.